We are back with the Guy Dawson Show at the World Center of Broadcast Media, WCOBM.com, live in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. We have been speaking with Philip Dahlheimer. He is a good friend of mine, fellow Toastmaster and entrepreneur. Kwan, did you say you had a couple of things you wanted to ask, Philip?
Yeah, Philip has been talking Toastmaster. I would like to hear more about your career and your life experiences. For instance, how lady can take beautiful shot? What's the special angles, things we should know? So I want to take nice pictures.
Well, okay, lighting is a very big factor.
Lighting, okay.
Because obviously if there's no light, there's no picture. You just have a black frame. And if there's too much light, then it's all washed out, and you just have a white picture. So the three factors that really change the look of a picture is the lighting source, the direction of the lighting source, and how close or far it is away from you.
How close, far, yeah.
And when you manage those three segments of lighting, then you can really enhance the photograph itself. Shadows, Rembrandt effect, there's hard lighting, there's soft lighting, depending on which direction it's coming from, backlighting. So all those definitely play a factor in how you get the most beautiful picture of a woman. And the look, the tilt, how the image or how the subject is, facing you. The chin down, chin up. Bigger people, you pose a little bit differently because you don't want to expose how big they are, and that positioning matters quite a bit. If they have, blemishes, then lighting makes a big difference. The way you don't want a hard lighting, you want kind of soft lighting, which means that you're just turned away from the hard lighting source. It's coming to you from the side. So that all helps. And it takes practice, yes, and it takes experience.
I said the tilt to one side is only for lovers, like a lovey-dovey couples. So for individual person taking picture, need to tilting one side too?
Well, you're asking if they're going to be close together, or?
Yeah, I said tilt to one side, tilting to each other.
What I've seen through all the photographers that I've worked with and seen their work, it's kind of interesting because I would think pictures that I've seen, it's perfect, I like it, but then you'll get critics coming by saying, oh no, this person's head's too low, their chin's too high, she should be in back, he should be in back. It's really, you take the pictures to what the client likes. Now sure, you want to focus on composition, lighting, so that's all correct. But whether the guys in the front, the guys in the back, if the client likes that, you've achieved your mission. Don't worry about the other critics. It's almost the same way in whether you're molding pottery or painting. Some people would say that Picasso, are you kidding me? How many drugs was he on when he painted those? But others are like, that's just so fantastic. So everybody has an opinion. And if you take a photograph and you show the client and they said, I am so happy with that, regardless of what all the other criticisms are, don't worry about it. I don't.
Yeah, I know. I've been appreciating your photography for a long time, Philip. You've done so much for our organization with photography, and me personally, you've taken a lot of pictures.
Yeah, we have. And I don't know who said this, but the quote was, be like the weather. They never worry about criticism. Weather comes and it will do what it's going to do.
Mother Nature, yeah. Mother Nature is immune to criticism.
Yeah. So yeah, we have taken a lot of pictures. I've been a photographer since I was 16. It's about 42 years. And I started off in college majoring in photography. And then I took this astronomy course and I changed my major to science. So I had half my credits in photography already. So you know what? I like this science. I want to be an astronomer that looks at planetary images and trying to figure out what went on there in space. It was very intriguing. Probably could have made a lot more money if I stayed a photographer. But you can never second guess yourself in that regard. So I got into science, and later on in my career, my dad hired me at his company, and we made just automatic toilet bowl cleaner. The little blue drops you put in your toilets.
Interesting, really interesting story about
Yeah,
it.
and we did, pretty well. We were the largest manufacturer of private label toilet bowl cleaner here in the West. We ended up selling the company in 1999 to a country in Central America, otherwise known as St. Louis, and it was a very friendly buyout.
Central America.
I think I picked that one up from Gene Puffer. So they bought us, and now what I do is R&D for the company. I'm on the product development team, working on new products that they want to bring to market in the consumer products industry. They're the largest maker of mothballs in the country. We do fruit fly traps, toilet bowl cleaners. We do different types of sachets, fly swatters, and so I just developed earlier in the month a new type of in-bowl toilet bowl cleaner, and they just presented it to Walmart last week, and so we're waiting to hear back to whether they'll buy it or not.
Yeah, Philip's a serious entrepreneur, and I'm fascinated by the Groover story. Will you talk about that?
Sure. I went on a single-track mountain bike trip with a good friend of mine up in the north rim of the Grand Canyon. And in a national park, you need to take in all your stuff and take out all your stuff. You have the Boy Scout motto to where you leave the place cleaner than when you found it. And they don't have any porta potties out there. So you bring your own toilet system, and that's called a groover. And the reason that's called a groover is that in the old days, they took an old Army ammunition box, and they used that as a toilet. So when you sat down on it and got up, you had grooves in your hiney. Hence the name groover stuck as the toilet when you go backpacking or on river trips or whatever. So I used that for the first time in the Grand Canyon. I came back to camp and I said, Rob, I can't do that anymore. It stunk to high heaven. And he says, yeah, that's the whole problem in the industry. The river rafting industry, the recreation industry is, solid human waste stinks. And I said, I think I have a solution for that. So the following week, I went back into work, and I had a laboratory there, and I made up several different formulas. He was just about ready to take a 20-day Grand Canyon river rafting trip. So I gave him all these products, and he took with them, and he started using them during the trip. After about 16 days, he ran out of all the samples, and then they started using the commercial stuff. And everybody on the trip, and there was probably about 30 of them, because they take these huge rafts down there, 40-foot rafts, and they're going, hey, why does the groover start stinking? And it's like, well, I ran out of my samples. They're like, man, you got to keep that. So when he got back from that trip, we proved our product during the Grand Canyon trip. And so we have on our packaging, Grand Canyon Proven. So that's kind of how our business started off, and that was back in 2005, so it's been 10 years.
Yeah, and the rest is history, and I've written a couple of stories
Yes,
about
you
it.
have.
I know so much about your business, and it's really fascinating how valuable a product like that is, and you don't realize it until you're out there on a boat, and it smells horrible. Can you give we're going to be going to commercial in a second. Can you let everyone know how they can get in contact with you for more information about your company?
Our website is www.grooverlabs.com, Groover labs.com. We have all of our products on the webpage and the contact information.
Facebook, right?
We have a Facebook page and we have a Twitter page, Groover Labs. Both of them.
Thanks so much for stopping by, Philip. And
I appreciate it. I love it.
You are the Groover expert and photographer.
We're going
to take a short commercial. Great. And we'll be back in a few minutes with more of the Guy Dawson Show with Kwan.